Welcome back to the channel. I am Angie Bug Lamar. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. Today I think that I will do another channel message. I will let uh, whoever chooses to come through. Oh, I think Joy wanted to come through. Are you ready? Yeah, last time I had a lot of fun. Trying to stay out of my own way and actually channel rather than just talk to the angels. It is a matter of decoding. Sometimes when you hear them talk to you, hold on just a minute. When you hear them talk to you, and then you're trying to decode what is being said. Uh, so so tonight, Joy said she wanted to talk. So we'll just let Joy come on through then. Hello. Hmm. I just thought I would do this for fun. Uh, Michael will probably be doing it mostly, maybe in a tie. Uh, Whoever chooses. That's the way Angie feels, so that's the way it's going to be. We don't mind. We actually like talking through her. It's something we wanted her to do for a long time, and it took forever to convince her that, it doesn't matter what everyone else says. What do you feel? What are you experiencing? Are you experiencing a true connection? If they don't believe that, they can move on to the next video. There's other videos to watch. So, I guess we were going to draw some cards tonight. I'm not very experienced at this. Michael and the rest of them will be, but I just wanted to do this at least once. Um, I've been around her for a very, very, very long time. Watched her grow, watched her joys and her pain, watched her become extremely shy, and watched Dixie become the extrovert, or older sister become the extrovert. But Angie, she has that secret hidden part of her that really wanted to be seen, really wants to be seen, understood, like a social butterfly. And that's like, I think the next mode that she really wants to take is a social butterfly, but she doesn't even know where to begin. She spent most of her life basically alone, or she had friends, but you know, she would basically spend a whole lot of time alone, not going out and doing a whole lot of things with other people. And she has been basically a hermit most of her life. So she's pretty ready for her hermitage to end. So today we're going to get a message from for the collective. We're going to see what the cards might have to allow for today, tomorrow, the next few days, whenever this reaches. So let's see. Let's move that out of the way. We just found a table today because that's been Angie's life. Uh, they find a lot of really good things and they recycle them, refurbish them. And she found a card table or a eating table thing that she is now going to use for the cards because she didn't have a good place to put them. Let's see. What today? What do you have to say, ancestors, angels, and everyone? What do you have to say for the collective? So, we got the Queen of Earth. It says thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So these are things that Angie will have to pay attention to, or anyone, if they are trying to make time for those around them, trying to be more social. It's telling you to take a sensible approach to it and deal with any challenging in a kind and understanding manner. And that's with anyone you may be meeting or trying to make more time for, because there are people, guaranteed, if you're hearing this message, there are people who have been wanting to spend time with you, but you have filled your time with either manifesting or other things. Just take a moment, breathe in, and see who might resonate with you, that might want to spend time with you, that hasn't been able to spend time. And then the next one is justice. Justice. It's a fair and just decision. Do what you know is right and stand up for your beliefs. So we may be those of us who believe in the 5D, who believe in the collective, who use our abilities to channel. While we're posting these things, we may actually come across people who don't understand, who don't believe, who want to think we're fake. But, I think the best way to stand up for what you believe in is not not have them make you defend yourself. Don't worry about that. Don't bother, because if they're not in your resonance, if they're not experiencing some of the openings that you have, or they're not listening to their inner self or their divine light, they're not going to get it. They're just not going to understand what it's like to actually reach that place, the place of hearing, the place of seeing, and then the place of knowing, and the place of unity of yourself and the divine essence of yourself. There are people who do not really want to believe that they are pieces of the divine. And Angie has always thought that's a little bit of a cop out. It's a cop out, because if you make it some God, some invisible being that is not fulfilling whatever it is that you think needs to be fulfilled, or give the praise to only that being. One, while you're doing that, it's kind of not being in the now. And the second, please don't get on that. The second thing is that you're not allowing people to understand the divine essence flowing through you. You should not allow anyone else to say what that is. Just live the divine you. The people who resonate with you will come to you. The people who don't, they'll end up either falling on the wayside or just thinking you were strange. And you know what? I've never cared if people thought I was weird. There was once, and see, it's very hard for you, isn't it, Angie? Yes. There was once when she was I'll tell this story that she wants to tell. There's once when she was working in the deli, cooking. There's this guy named Sil that worked doing the dishes mostly, worked later in the evening closing. And he would come in, and she would be talking to the angels back there. She's by herself, it's a small little cubby where she cooks, but they'd come in to get some of their dishes or put away some of their dishes. And so he would hear her talking, and he would just, be talking to herself, and she said, yeah. And then one day she just did it. She said, well, but she just looked at him and she said, well, would it make you feel, or would it seem less crazy if I said I was talking to the angels? And he said no. And she put the chicken that she was, the big chicken that she was prepping into the oven. And then she said, shut the door and said, well, I guess take your pick then. Because it didn't really bother her that she'd talked to herself all her life, really. So it wasn't really that much different when she started talking to the angel, only she heard answers now instead of just talking to the thin air, amusing herself. She heard answers and laughter and all of the rest. So let's see what the next card is for you guys. So it says emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative, falling in love, or a wedding proposal. Now, some of you may be experiencing that. Or if you have if you were already married, that you may get yourself, especially as you're getting more and more in line with who you are, if your spouse is doing the same, you might find yourself falling in love again. But the one thing about Angie's husband, Cecil, one thing about him is, like when they first got together, he told her he wanted to fall in love with her every single day. And he has continued doing that. And it's a good concept to go by, because when you go through these major changes and shifts and you have yourself unified with your significant other already, and you want to keep this solid unity, it is important that you understand one another and that you keep trying to shift and change and grow together and find uh, your your divine light together. And it's guaranteed, if you're doing that, that you'll stay in resonance with each other. Angie, she didn't want Cecil to go to college by himself, because she didn't want to have nothing to talk to him about. So she determined, since she was college bound anyway, to make sure she went while he was going. And it's kept them in a strong friendship this whole time. And then what else does it say? An invitation to a social event. Now, some of you may get an invitation to a social event, and I would suggest that you take it if you really like the person. Use your discernment. Use it. Use your knowledge to know whether or not that whoever that might be at this social event or invited you to it, or whatever the social event is something that you really want to do and is in your frequency, and that you would have fun at. So, let's see, what is another card? Another card. Let's see. So I got two. The Magician. You are ready. So you are ready. Everyone who hears this message, you are ready to step into your 5D self. You are ready to co-create. You are ready to live in the now. And you have the resources and the ability to manifest everything that you want. You're ready. Step into the now, and life becomes magical. Just like this magician is saying, you're ready. You're ready to manifest. You're ready to step into your 5D reality. You're ready to achieve your wildest dreams and beyond. Dreams that you don't even know that you're going to have will come to you as you progress through things. As you achieve one dream, you won't just stop dreaming. Your dreams will change, and you will achieve another dream and another and another, because that's the one thing I think that humankind, the emissaries, have a large capacity to do, and that is to dream. Dream is like second nature to them if they let them. Living in the 5D reality, Angie believes, and it seems to be the case, because in dream you're actually in another realm. You're actually beyond the 3D. You're past the 4D, and that's why dreams work really insane. And sometimes you can't. You're in one scene, and then it's like you click into another one, and you don't really know how you transition from one scene in the dream to another. There was no real travel time. It just sort of switched scenes. So when you are achieving your dreams, it might feel sometimes like you're dreaming. You might want to pinch yourself to make sure you're awake, because it's going to be that magical and that surreal to be achieving your wildest dreams without any effort. Just living in your 5D life will transform your whole perspective on what the 3D realm is and what you can accomplish in the 3D realm. And so now here's the other card that came out with that one. You will be having important psychic insights. You'll be seeing things like you're seeing into behind the scenes. Like sometimes when Angie watches the K-pop stuff, she'll watch some of the behind the scenes where you see them monitoring themselves on the cameras to see if they like the flow of their dance, or if they think they need to retake the dance move or whatever. And it's kind of like when you're in the state and you're seeing these psychic insights, it's kind of like you get to go behind the scene. I mean, I think some people actually see like the Matrix, and they've got this whole image of that. Well, when Angie does, it's more like unless it's a dream when she goes in and does her thing, it's a temple. It's a beautiful place that she calls her heart temple. And then there's Hazel's garden and the city. There's these places that represent and safety for all of the beings, or all of the peoples and pieces that she was, that where she can socialize with herself and the angels. And she created this place. Uh, she created this place without trying, really. She wasn't trying to do that. It was just natural to her to offer this or that or the other thing, and all of a sudden it became this whole big thing. And it's joyous. There's always music playing on the inside of her. There's always some kind of socializing and love, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So so and it's important though, during this time, that you release the fears that are holding you back. Like sharing some of her weirdo-ness and the fact that she's been creating at least for 3 years, but yeah, she's been discovering creating a lot longer than that. It's what led her along the path to finding her first guide, and then Jesua again, because Jesua is a very big, important part of her life. Love is her guiding factor. Love and light, they're the same thing to her. Light is just love, like in visual effect. You know, light is just love and visual effect for people. That's what you see when you see love. Is this light? You know, people's essence, they glow when they're feeling love. When you see a smile on their face, you know, their essence glows. So yeah, so you must, in order to really achieve what you want to and live in this 5D reality, you must let go of these fears. You must release the fears. Uh, it's really like, I think, an ingrained sense of fear of submitting, but in this case, submitting is good because you're submitting to yourself. You're submitting uh, to to confidence in your decision making skills. You're submitting to living in the now and finding a joyous path to your next step, to your dream in the now. So we'll get at least one more card. Six of Fire. So, good news is on its way. There's victory. So, if sometimes it seems like this has been, especially when you're trying to figure out how to move out of your own way so that you can step into this 5D reality, into this 5D way of thinking. Um, I like to think about, like, Angie and Cecil have a song, and it's called The Key. And the chorus is, "You've got the key, remember? You have the key, remember? You got the key, remember?" And it's ingrained in every single one of us, especially what they call the new humans, the people who have been born in the last two, I guess, 40 years, 30 years, who have they've had a new way of doing, especially the ones in the last couple of decades, the advent of the internet and how fast social communication has grown. Uh, this gives us a way to to communicate with people that we would have never thought we could communicate 50 years ago. And they were so far away, it took a long time. And the art of the letter, well, a lot of people didn't actually have the art of the letter. Cecil's got the art of the letter. He's got to find himself a pen pal so he can write. But so it says that whatever you're going through, whatever trials you've been facing, however you've been trying to integrate all the pieces of yourself so that you can get in and stay in to the 5D reality, into the vibration that your divine self truly inhabits. It's your birthright. And so with this, as you grow and as you open up everything that you are, you have contrasts. So some of you may be getting some public recognitions or awards for something that you have been doing or will be doing in the near future. Let's get one more card before we go to Angie's little cards that she made out of her own words. She wrote and intends to finish her book of poetry, and that's one thing I think that she's been struggling with. She feels guilty over not feeling like she has time to herself to meditate and take in and just be in the now, and then time to try to figure out what her next poem is, or time to get back into her dance routine, or time to, and it's like collapse time. Just collapse time. Make the time for yourself that you need to make, and you will find a way. You will find a way. So let's get one more card. One more of these. Well, I got 3 out, so I guess it'll be 3 more cards. So the card is the Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic, witty. And it says, objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in the situation. So when you face these trials that we were talking about that you may have to overcome, you will get the experience that you need, but face it realistically and with some wit. And then use your objective decision making skills. I think there must be something that you're going to have to make decisions about soon, and use your objectivity so that you can make the proper decision for all involved. And then there's a clearing away of all that no longer serves you. So during this decision, this objective decision making, you may be just trying to decide what fits you still, what doesn't, what vibrates with you, and what you just want to shed. And those are proper things to do. Just bless it all, release it all, as Thurisaz the Rune says. And then go on through your portal and become the new you. And see the sense of humor in how we are always transforming. Always. Angie calls it the changeless changeability. So we got the 6 of Air. And it says things are looking up. The end of a difficult situation and taking a trip. So some of you may be taking a trip. But whatever you've been going through, it seems like things are going to be looking better very soon. You're going to have the end of any difficult situation that you might be going through. And that may end up leading to you taking a trip. It may just be a trip into yourself, into the ethers, trying to create or figure out, and like maybe you take a vision you have and try on different aspects of it. See what resonates, see what doesn't, and then keep what resonates and continue to build your dream. And then we also got the Star. And it's telling you happy times are coming. And that it's okay to make positive, optimistic, long-term plans because you're on the right path. So right now, as we're going through Mercury in retrograde, and all this craziness is going on, not only in our country, but in all these other countries, not only in the USA, excuse me, but in all of these other countries, it's it is a good to take time to remember that you are on the right path and allow yourself to be happy. It doesn't help anyone else if you're sad. There are many conditions in the world that you're not going to be able to control by your will. Uh, Put your good energy to it, if you will. Pray for them if that's what you do. Send out your angels if that's what you do. And then move on, go on with your life, and live in the now. It's good to feel like you can make a difference. But at the same time, if you're living in your 5D life, you will see the difference. And then as you're, excuse me, sorry, as you're seeing other people connect with their 5D, and you're vibrating together and you're coming together to do your things and live your life and create your dreams in the world around you, this will be lifting the vibration of the earth in general and the whole collective, which will cause those that are close to waking to start to feel the rumble, to start to make the questions. And now this process is kind of never ending. You're always going to be seeking to align more properly, or put yourself back on the right alignment, or make new dreams because you've achieved the ones that you had, or they don't seem to fit anymore. And that too is okay. It's part of the process. You are on the right path. I will try to cut out all the coughing. Got a little bit of a, Angie got a little bit of a tickle in her throat from getting submerged in the water when she went to the water park, which she and her husband did with a friend who it was his wife's favorite thing, and she died not too terribly long ago, 6 months maybe, of epilepsy. Well, she drowned in her bath, but she died due to the epilepsy because she was home alone because he couldn't afford not to stay home with her all the time. He had to work, so it just hit her, and so he wanted to go and he wanted to honor her. They had passes, and he offered Cecil a pass, and Angie bought a pass, and they went and stayed about 4 hours and played, but she got submerged in the water 2, 3, 4 times and had it coming out her throat and nose, you know how it does. So that's made it a little difficult, but we're going to get another card or two. And this is a good one to always live by. Whatever you've decided to do in your 5D reality, whatever it is, do it with a sense of fun. This comes from one of her poems. It actually says, we do it with a sense of fun. That's the way we get things done. Do it with a sense of fun, because that's the whole point. You're supposed to play here. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be having fun. There's no need to suffer. You will undergo things, and that's the original meaning of suffering. But there's no need to focus on that as if it were an attack against you, that you may get a cold germ or allergies in this case. So let's see what we'll get. At least 1 or 2 more of these. Ooh, that one wants to come. And see, with a sense of discovery, we undertake the recovery. And in this sense, you're undertaking the recovery of all the little pieces of yourself, aligning them correctly, accepting and loving all that you are. You're not here to be perfect. We angels have told Angie time and time again, you don't have to do anything to be perfect or to fulfill your obligation. You just have to be you. You just have to live. That's all. That's it. That's your one duty, is to live. And as you're resonating with who you are and who you're meant to be and who your divine self wants to be in this life, you will do things. You will do them because they're fun. You will do them because you feel the drive. You will do them because you're curious. Let's see, one more card. And for those of you who have had a long time in coming, a long wait for the harvest, the energies that you've been putting out, you just have to really believe and stay in the now. Don't worry. It's the easiest thing to do. Just let the highest you do it, and then you don't really have to think about it except for when decision time is coming. When somebody asks you or comes up with a plan they want you to do, whether or not it resonates right with you, then you play. You'll be driven, if it's resonating right with you, you will be driven to do the things that you are intending to do to get the contract fulfilled, to get the dream built with yourself and whoever else is in that dream with you, co-creating. And I want to get one more before I let Angie back up. Now, when you're doing this, and Angie found this at the water park, hold on to your seat for a bumpy ride. Now, when you're going through this, there are going to be some bumps along the road. Angie, she never liked roller coasters because she didn't like the build-up, the anticipation before the drop. She liked the stomach drop, but not the anticipation. So while they were at Waterworld, she got in and started breathing, thinking, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm just going to breathe through the part that I fear, the anticipation, and I won't know when it hits me. And when it hits me, I'll just feel the drop, and that will be fine. I have faith in this ride, that everything's fine in this ride, and I've got my husband and Josh here in there with me, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So he said, oh, this is going to be scary, said the guy who put them in there and is about to push them down. She goes, oh, nah, I'm just breathing through it. And he goes, oh, you're going to go backwards. And she goes, okay. So she starts breathing more deeply, and as she's going through this inner tube, she's feeling all the bumps but she's just letting the wave take her. She's letting trust take her. And when she gets that drop, all she feels is that sense of giggly, woo, my stomach just dropped, and they're back in the water and they're around. And that's the way she approached both the rides that she did like that. And she did take a moment to, they took a moment to go into a little floaties, and it was just this little waterway that pushed you down like a little stream. And it had little extras on the side, like these little waterfall things that would push you faster because you'd get slower because you'd bump up against the wall. She was just lounging in that thing, singing and having fun. And at one point, she's singing, goofing off and having fun, and she turns around, and this woman's just like right behind her, and she's like smiling real big at her, and he's like, I just like to sing while I'm doing this thing. And then she just hammed it up even more because she didn't care. She was having fun, and she was being in the now. And the now, Angie just likes to sing silly little songs as she's going about her daily life. You know everything's right with her if she's just making up silly little songs. So we got all of these cards, so I will allow Angie to come back. I really enjoyed this. It was a little strange for me because the only time I've ever spoken through her is during the remembrances when we were talking about past life stuff. Anyway, so we'll leave it at that. Now we'll let Angie come back, and we love you guys. That was harder to let her do it than it was Michael. Interrupting your own sister. So that's your tendencies. But she made it known the other day after I finished with the one with Michael that she wanted to be the next one. So I said, okay. if that's who it's gonna be, that's who it's gonna be. You know, I don't play favorites in that way. Whoever wants to speak, they can take whatever. They can draw straws, play thumb wars, rocks, paper, scissors. I don't know how they decide. But anyway, I've really enjoyed this. And remember, if you don't take anything else, it's not long now. This bumpy ride that we call life is about to get a lot less bumpy, and you're not going to feel the bumps anymore. You're going to feel those pleasant stomach drops that tell you, ooh, this is what I really want. This is what I mean to create in my life. This is how I want to communicate my angel to the world. So, all of you angels out there, all you emissaries out there, I love you very much. I'll try to do at least 1 or 2 a week of these. It just depends on how driven the angels feel to communicate through me, and I will let them guide me on that. But this was a nice thing. It's I will get better at it as I go along. I've never taken any classes. That if you think that I take classes for these kind of things, you don't know Angie yet. I'm more of a chaos practitioner, is what I would call myself when at first I thought I was more like Wiccan or along those lines. A spiritualist seeker is what I am, and I never really trusted anybody to teach me. And these days, the only thing that's stopping me maybe from learning is, well, as soon as like the universe sends me more money, some extra that doesn't just to pay my bills and get my recording done, because we are going to be recording 1, 2, 3 of our songs with a friend from work. Hopefully that'll work out, because it seemed very easy. It seemed to be in vibration, and it remains to be seen until we actually work together if that's going to actually be the case. So we thank you, and hope that I'll see you again soon. Like, comment, subscribe down below. If any of you have talked to one of your relatives or tried to let them come through you to speak, and whether or not that it felt awkward for you when you did. We love you guys very much. See you next time. Bye.